Hey, welcome to day 7. You've made it through your first week. Congratulations. So today's class, we're going to be working into the hips and the hamstrings. We're going to take a nice gentle class, slow it down, really stretch out and leave you feeling really rejuvenated and ready for the day. Hope you enjoy. Lying on our backs today. Just take ourselves onto our backs, lying down on the mat. You can let the legs go out long, or if you want to get a little bit into those hips, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall apart. Just giving ourselves this time at the beginning of the class to center ourselves, to get a little bit more in tune with that breath, and to quiet the mind as well. You can place your right hand onto the belly, you can bring the left hand up onto the chest. And that's just going to bring that awareness to the rise and fall of the body as we breathe. So in today's class, we're going to work into the hips and the hamstrings, stretching it out. Perfect if you're do a little bit of running or cycling, or if you're feeling a little bit tight in those areas. So we'll just start to deepen the breath now. Taking a big inhale through the nose, letting it drop all the way down into that right hand, so down into the belly, and all the way up into the left hand, up into the chest, filling the lungs up. And then exhale out the mouth, letting the body come back down towards the mat. We go again, inhale through the nose, all the way into the right hand and up into the left hand. Open the mouth and exhale. One more time, inhaling, filling the lungs, and exhale. And then we'll close the mouth and just keep that breath coming in and out through the nose. You can gently open the eyes, let the left leg go out long and bring the right knee into the chest and start to interlace the hands around that knee or that shin, and we can squeeze the knee in. Feel a little rock side to side, gently working into that hip already. And then taking the right hand on the inside of the leg, and then take a hold of the ankle, the shin, and then keeping that knee out towards the side, we bring the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, so it's parallel with the ceiling. If we can't quite reach the foot, we can take a hold of the back of the knee. But we want to think about pushing against that leg or that foot and drawing that knee down towards the side. You can bring the left hand onto that left hip, inhale here. And exhale, drawing it down a little bit more. Flexing the foot. And then release that foot, bringing the knee into the chest. Taking a hold of the back of the leg, we extend the foot up towards the ceiling. You can point the toes, flex the foot, whatever feels nicer for you. We inhale here. And then as we exhale, we start to draw that leg a little bit closer towards us. You may walk the leg, the hands up the leg, or just holding on to the back of the thigh, drawing it in. If you want, you can start to bring that forehead up towards the knee. Trying to touch the nose to knee. Inhale here. And then exhale, bend into the leg. Let that leg go out long, give it a little shake. And then going through the other side, bring the left knee into the chest. First of all, we'll start to squeeze it in, rock it side to side, gently working into that hip. And then bringing that left arm on the inside of the leg, and again taking a hold of the ankle, the foot, or the back of the thigh. Sole of the foot, so flexing the foot and drawing it up towards the ceiling. So making sure we've got that 90-degree angle with our leg. We're drawing that knee down towards the side. And again, you can place that right hand onto the right hip, encouraging it to stay down. We're not rocking over to one side. Inhale here. And as we exhale, pull with that hand against that foot, draw that knee a little bit deeper towards the side. And then from here, slowly release the foot back through center, taking a hold of the back of the leg. Extend the foot up towards the ceiling. You can have that point or that flex or whatever you prefer. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, we start to draw that leg a little bit closer towards us. Already starting to feel it in the back of the leg. You might feel it more in the calf if you flex the foot. Again, you can walk the hands up the leg. You can round the shoulders, bring that nose up towards the knee. Inhale here. Your leg might shake a little bit, that's okay. And then exhale, slowly release that leg, let it out, go long, a little shake. And then bring both knees into the chest. Again, give yourself that little hug, rock side to side. And then from here, we're going to rock up and down the spine, rounding the back. Rolling up and down. And after a couple of rocks, we'll cross over at the ankles, roll over the feet, plant the hands in front, and take those knees back and find our tabletop position. So make sure the knees are underneath the hips, the hands under the shoulders. Just finding a little bit of space in that back. We'll just rock side to side, take those hips side to side, feeling that twist through the torso. And then finding our cat-cows, we inhale, scoop the belly down, lift the chest, lift the chin. And as we exhale, we round the back, looking up towards the belly button, tucking the tailbone under. A few more like this, moving with the breath, inhaling, lifting. And as we exhale, we round. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. We'll do one more for good measure. Inhale, lifting the chest and the chin, pull the hands towards the knees. Exhaling, rounding the back, push the hands away. And then from here, we're going to tuck the toes under, pushing through the feet and the hands, lift the hips nice and high. Finding our downward facing dog. Keeping that back nice and flat. We don't want to round in our back, so bend into the legs. Tucking the tailbone up, so lifting those hips up towards the ceiling. Making sure that neck is nice and released. And then from here, we'll start to draw the left heel down only while we lift the right heel up. See how far we can get that left heel down. And then switching it out, draw the right heel down, lift the left heel up. And again, switching. Really walking through the feet. Finding that stretch in the calves and the toes. And then speeding it up a little bit here. Making it rhythmic. And then our next inhale, we're going to rock all the way forward. Shoulders come over the top of the wrists. Find our high plank position, squeezing the core. Exhale, take the hips up and back. Find our downward facing dog. Drawing the heels back. And again, inhale, shifting forwards, high plank, squeeze the core. Exhale, take the hips up and back. Downward dog, draw the heels down. We do one more. Inhale, shift forwards. This time we exhale, shift forwards a little bit more, coming onto the toes. Dropping the knees down if we want to, or one knee down, or keeping them lifted as we lower down. Just halfway. Take those elbows back and land with the body. This half push-up. And then all the way down onto our belly, untucking the toes. Gentle pressure in the hands. Using our lower back to lift the chest up, finding our cobra. Exhale, lower back down, chin towards the mat we go again. Inhale, lifting. Drawing the shoulders down the back. Exhale, lower back down. One more time, inhale, lift. Using that lower back to lift the chest. Exhale, we lower back down, tuck the toes under. You can push up through high plank, using the knees if you want to. Strong through that core, those arms, and then exhale, we take the hips up and back. Finding our downward facing dog. From here, we're going to lift the right leg up nice and high. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the knee and then open up that hip. So that knee is going to point up towards the ceiling. We want to stack the hips on top of one another. So we find this open hip, that stretch of the front of that hip flexor. Make sure that right shoulder is drawing down so we're not completely opening our chest towards the right. Inhale here. And then as we exhale, we bring that foot all the way through between the hands. If it doesn't quite reach, we can drop the back knee down, step the foot up. And then from here, we tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Coming onto the fingertips, we start to lift the chest up. So dropping the hips down, lifting the chest, lifting the chin, finding this low lunge, almost like a runner's lunge. Inhale here. And as we exhale, we start to straighten that front leg, taking the hips up and back, folding down over that straight leg, finding this pyramid pose. Moving through these two poses, we inhale, bend into the front leg, lifting the chest. And as we exhale, we straighten the front leg, taking it back, folding down. One more time, inhale, shifting forwards. The hands may even lift off the mat. Exhale, folding over that straight leg, pyramid pose. And then from here we bend into the front leg, plant the hands, stepping straight back to our downward dog. Inhale here, exhale to stay. Other side, we inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, we bend the knee and we open up that hip. And notice how that right heel starts to draw down a little bit more. The hips are stacked, feeling that stretch of that front of the hip flexor. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, we bring that foot all the way through between the hands. Again, making sure that that foot comes a nice long distance. The back knee is lifted, bending into the front leg, dropping the hips down, coming onto the fingertips, or you can even lift the hands up. Inhale here. And as we exhale, we start to straighten that front leg, taking the hips up and back, folding into our pyramid pose. And we go again. Inhale, shift forwards, drop the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten the front leg, folding down, trying to get that nose past the knee. Inhale, come forwards, lifting. Exhale, taking it back and folding. This time we inhale, shift forwards, plant the hands, stepping straight back to our downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, start to walk the feet up towards the top of the mat. Nice and slowly. Feet can be hip distance apart. Gentle, slight bend in the legs as we hang the body over. Releasing the neck, the arms, swaying from side to side. Inhale here. And exhale, release. In your own time, rolling up to standing, bending into the legs. Head comes up last. As we get there, we roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back, palms facing forwards. Finding our Tadasana, our mountain pose, so strong through those legs, those feet are grounding down, the arms are drawing down, palms facing forwards, squeezing the glutes. Inhale, we lift the arms up. And as we exhale, we bring the palms to the chest. Looking down towards the feet, just toe heel those toes, toe heel those feet out wide to the width distance of the mat. The toes can turn out slightly, 45 degrees. And then from here, we start to bend into the legs. So making sure that those knees are drawing out so we start to feel more of a stretch through the outside, or we're activating those glute muscles and feeling a stretch through the hips. And we can just stay here. If this is enough, you can bring your hands onto your knees, encouraging them to stay out. Or if we can get those hips as low as possible without lifting our heels, finding our yoga squat, our malasana. But wherever we are, we encourage those knees to rotate outwards, to draw outwards, coming into this hip stretch. Inhaling here, and exhale to stay. One more breath, inhaling, and exhale. And then from here, we want to lift the hips up high, keep the feet where they are, plant the hands in front. We're just going to step the left leg back, big long stance back, and then we drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. So now find we're in this lizard pose, so our right knee or right foot is up in line with our hands, the toes are turned out, and then we're on our back. That back knee is down, pushing the top of the back foot down into the mat. And then starting to roll onto the outside blade of that front foot. Let that knee fall out towards the side. You can gently press that knee away, twisting, opening the chest towards the right. And if you know it's available for you, you can lift the back foot and reach around to take a hold of that foot and draw it in a little bit closer. Inhaling here. And exhale. We'll slowly let that foot go down if we hold it, bringing that hand back underneath the shoulder. Tucking the back toes under, lifting the back knee. We're going to step back up to that yoga squat. So stepping that back foot to the outside of the left hand and sinking those hips down as low as we can, drawing the knees out wide. So back to that yoga squat, that malasana. Inhaling here, drawing the knees out wide. Exhale, we stay. And then go to the other side, we plant the hands in front, lift the hips, this time stepping the right leg back, big long stance, and then dropping the back knee down, untucking the toes, making sure that that left foot is in line with that, with your hands under the shoulders, pushing the top of the back foot down into the mat, feeling that stretch of that front of the hip flexor, keeping the spine long, and then rolling onto the outside blade of that front foot, letting the knee rotate outwards. Really starting to feel it in the outside of that hip. You can gently press the knee away. Or if you want, if it's available for you, you can lift the back foot and taking a hold of the back foot. And if it's there, you can draw it in a little bit closer, getting more of a stretch through that quad. Inhaling here. And exhale, we can release that foot down if we have it, bringing the hands back up underneath the shoulders, tucking the back toes, and lifting the back knee. And this time we're going to step straight back to our downward dog. So back to our downward dog, our feet are hip distance apart at the back of the mat, the hips up nice and high, nice long spine. Inhale here. And exhale, we stay. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, we step the foot through between the hands, and we're going to drop that back heel down so it's parallel with the short edge of the mat. Standing up nice and tall, strong through those legs, we inhale, lift up, find our warrior two. Bending into the front leg, making sure that knee is rotating outwards, so we're still feeling it in that outer hip, or that inner hip, sorry. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, we start to straighten that front leg, squeezing the glutes to push the hips forwards, and then we hinge at that front hip as we draw that right hand towards the top of the mat, reaching as far as we can go, and then bringing that hand down on the inside of that leg, and that left hand comes up. Making sure that we're not dropping the shoulder down or the butt sticking out, but we're staying in one long plane, all on top of one another, inhaling here. And then as we exhale, we start to bring that top hand down towards the mat. We square our hips so we come onto the back toes, and then we fold back down into that pyramid pose. Inhale here, we can halfway lift hands under the shoulders. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, bend into the front leg, plant the hands. Let that leg go all the way up and back, finding our downward facing dog. Other side, we inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, we step the foot as close as we can between those hands, making sure we've got a nice big stance. Drop the back heel down, so it's parallel with the short edge of the mat. Strong through those legs, we inhale, stand up nice and tall, finding our warrior two. Making sure that knee doesn't fall inwards, strong through those legs. And then from here, we'll start to straighten the front leg, squeeze the glutes, pushing the hips forwards, already finding that long plane, all in one plane, and then drawing that left hand towards the top of the mat, reaching, 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 and then bringing the hand down the inside of the leg, top arm comes up. Inhaling here, opening the chest. You can even take the gaze up towards that top hand. And then as we exhale, we bring that top hand down. Start to come onto the back toes and squaring the hips as we fold down into our pyramid pose. Hands underneath the shoulders. We inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Really feeling it through the back of the leg. And exhale, we fold down. Next, inhale, bending into the front leg, frame the front foot with the hands stepping straight back to our downward dog. From here, we'll bring the knees down, untuck the toes, find that child's pose. Hips come towards the heel, rest the forehead on the mat. Inhale. And exhale. And then rolling over onto one side of the hip. Letting those legs come all the way out in front. So straight legs up towards the top of the mat. Really sitting on those sit bones. You can flex the feet. And that might even activate the calf muscles to lift those heels up. We inhale, lift the arms up, finding length through that spine first. And then as we exhale, we start to draw those hands towards the front of the room. Try not to round our back. But we want to keep it nice and long, nice and flat. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Almost like we want to get our nose past our knees. And then wherever we want, we can bring the hands down if they reach the calves, the ankles, the feet. Taking a hold of what we can. We inhale, find a halfway lift to find that long spine. And then as we exhale, we pull with those hands and we draw ourselves down. You can have the feet flexed here. You might feel a little bit more in those calves. Or you can point the toes. Whatever feels nicer for you, it's your practice. Inhale here one more time. Exhale, drawing yourselves down. Now next inhale, we'll slowly roll up. And then plant the feet down. Making sure they're hip distance apart. We're going to scooch the butt up towards the heels. Rolling down onto our back. And as we're already on our backs, we'll just make sure we can tickle the back of the heels with the fingertips. Setting up for our bridge pose, we inhale, push through the heels of the feet, lifting the hip bones up towards the ceiling. You can roll the shoulder blades or walk the shoulder blades together under the body. And that's just going to puff that chest up a little bit more. Make sure those knees don't fall apart. They're staying right above those ankles. Inhale, pushing the hips up. Exhale, we stay. One more breath. Inhale, lifting the hip bones a little bit higher. And then we'll come up onto the toes, lift the heels, and then exhale, roll down the back, nice and slowly. Vertebrae by vertebrae. From here, tick-tock the knees side to side, releasing that lower back after the back bend. Letting the knees fall to one side, and then to the other side. A few more here. Big breaths in. And then from here, we'll bring both knees into the chest, giving yourself a little squeeze. And then coming into our full happy baby pose. So this time we take both arms on the inside of the legs, taking a hold of the shins, the ankles, the feet, or if you want, behind the back of the thighs. Letting those knees go out towards the side and then flexing the feet. Drawing the feet up towards the ceiling, having that 90-degree angle with the legs. And then we can pull down with those feet or wherever we have a hold of and drawing those knees a little bit wider towards the side. We're a little happy baby on our back. You can even rock side to side, massaging that lower back. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. Slowly bring the feet back together. Bring those knees back into the chest. Squeeze it in. Crossing the right leg over the left, like we're crossing our legs. And if you want, if it's available, you can wrap the right toes around the left calf. And then we scooch the hips over towards the right as we draw both knees over towards the left, finding this spinal twist. You can let the right arm go out wide, and if it's okay in the neck, the gaze can follow. Closing the eyes here. Inhale, sending the breath all the way down into the twist, into that belly. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, we inhale. And as we exhale, we unravel the legs. And bring both knees back up through center. Give them a little squeeze. You might need to hop the hips back through center as well. And then going through the other side, crossing the left leg over the right. And if it is available, you can wrap those toes around the calf. And everyone hop the hips over slightly towards the left as we start to draw both knees over towards the right. Oof, my back just and if you want, you can take the left arm out towards the side. The gaze can follow, but only if it's okay in that neck. We'll close our eyes wherever we are. Inhale here. And exhale, release into this twist. And again, inhaling. And exhale. This time we inhale, slowly unravel the legs. Bringing both knees back in through center, hop those hips back through center. Squeezing them in. You can bring the forehead up towards the knees, really rounding the back. Give yourself a real big squeeze. And then from here, we'll take the legs out long. Take the feet towards the corners of the mat. Let the feet fall apart. And then taking the arms down by the side, palms facing up. Finding our Shavasana, closing the eyes, feeling the body heavy against the ground. You can let the breath go now, so you can let the breath come in and out through the mouth. Just letting everything settle in for just a couple of minutes. And from here, we'll start to wiggle the fingers and toes, gently bringing movement back into the body. You can bring your knees back into your chest, either rolling over onto your side or rocking straight up to a seated position. And eventually everyone finding comfortable seated position. And we'll bring our palms together, taking the forehead down towards the fingertips. Take an inhale here. And exhale. Namaste.